difficult to interrupt such animated conversations, and we want you to continue developing those relationships and meeting people maybe you haven't seen for a long time. So we're glad you're here. What a time to celebrate 50 years. It's incredible. I was married 50 years ago in April, so you can imagine what our wedding presents were. Haitian art, needlework, you know. We still have them. Okay. All right, well, it's time to turn our attention to the meal that we're going to share together tonight. The meal this evening is being served family style. So you will have the dishes brought to you. The window, that window there, you see in front of the kitchen is where coffee and hot water decanters and the cups are located. So. Now, if you were given a marker indicating a dietary preference, please display it near your water of glass. Your glass, maybe your glass of water, that might be better. So, and then the servers will see that and make note of your preference. Now, please take note, which I've seen many of you looking at already, the centerpieces on your table. Each table display is a themed vignette and includes 3 objects, one from each of the 3 shops, and represent a spirit of collaboration. The displays are on Lazy Susans. So remember when you were a kid, you loved the Lazy Susan. Yeah, swirl them around. So you can feel free to look at all of them and view all the features of the display. And I will add, all the items are on sale. Okay, the displays were created by Sue Dorsey and Nancy Neff, and we thank them for that. Joyce is going to lead us in prayer, and then we'll proceed to our meal. Please pray with me. Creator God, tonight we are celebrating a dream that came to fruition 50 years ago. I give thanks for the artisans who were equipped with the ability to create. We give thanks for Edna Ruth Byler's dream of helping artisans by selling their products. I give thanks for Lois Kreider, Celia Hilty, and many, many others from First Mennonite Church who helped begin the Etc. shop. I give thanks for board members, managers, volunteers, and shoppers that have kept the shops going for 50 years. Now, Lord, bless this meal and the conversations around the table. I pray that it all glorifies you. Amen.
So you can start by passing your salads and rolls, and students will bring your
Well, thank you all for being with us tonight. We're enjoying this meal together. We want to acknowledge some special guests here tonight. We have members of the Hilty family here, and we have members of the Kreider family here. And if you've been watching the videos, you've seen both Lois and Celia, Lois Kreider and Celia Hilty, instrumental in starting this whole endeavor. Without them, we wouldn't be sitting here tonight. So let's start here with the Hilty family. We have Judy Kingsley with us. Judy lives here in Bluffton. She spent a good part of her adult life in Africa, but then she came and taught at Bluffton college. So, Judy. We have Rachel with us, Rachel Friesen, who lives here in Bluffton also. She and her husband Ivan moved to Bluffton in retirement after spending many years of service. They're still spending years of service, I should give it. They have, like, and Suzanne Lind, who lives up in Michigan now, spent much of her adult life with her husband Tim in Africa. So this family has, it's no wonder Celia was involved in this, right? Because, and her children have all took on the torch and have served all over the world. Lois Kreider had 5 children, and 4 of them are with us still. What a delight that they were able to come. Lois's older daughter, Esther, is here, and she lives in North Newton, Kansas. And her husband, Bill, who, you know, he can't stay still, so he's back over here. Bill and Esther were our Bluffton graduates and in my class, so that's what. The next daughter was Joan Kreider, who lives up in way up north in Minnesota. Right from Africa with us too. And Karen Kreider Yoder and her husband Steve came all the way from San Francisco. You know that they're travelers, whether it's on bicycle or plane or car or train or whatever. So we're very glad that you could be here. And then their only son, Lois's only son, David. Oh, there. Where's Steve? And David lives in North Newton and lived right there close to Lois and Bob. And, yeah, so. Okay. We also have our Great Lakes Thrift Coordinator with us here from Goshen, Joy Lichty Yoder. Yay. Joy's been our resource for the 10 years that she's been the coordinator. She's worked closely with Chrissy and the board and all of us in making our store as strong as it is. Thank you, Joy. Yeah. Okay, let's see who else is here today. We know that without all the volunteers, this would not be. And anyone who's had any part of this operation know that the volunteers are what make it happen. Yeah, no question. So we want to point out some special categories of volunteers, and let's start with the longest serving. Now, if you were here in that, on January 18th, 1974, and volunteering at Etc. Shop, please stand up. Do we have anybody? There we go. Esther. Yeah. Caroline. I can wander a little bit, right, Ray? Tell me if I go too far. If you go into Etc., which of course you all do, right? And see the sign, the Etc. Shop sign. That's the original one you saw on there, created by Carolyn. Thank you, Carolyn. Okay, and Shirley Summer. Yes, she's been a faithful all these years. It's amazing. They know the history all the way through. Yeah. Okay, well, let's... So this is our older end of the crowd, right? They have to be because they were volunteers for 50 years. We've also got some who are just starting, who are on the younger. And there's a table back over there of our younger volunteers. Would you all please stand up? Because it's just a delight to have you. So there we have... They're from ages 10 to 15, I believe, here. Yeah, so thank you all to you. And what we all hope is that you'll stick with it, and 50 years from now, you'll be running the show and serving serving on the 100-year anniversary. Okay, we have another group of very important people here, and these are managers, past and present managers of either the Etc. Shop or Book Reviews or 10,000 Villages. So let's start with who's the, have we figured out who the manager is? Well, of course, Chrissy's. Is there any manager before you that's here tonight?
Peggy, yeah.
No, Peggy was after her.
Mary.
Mary, of course, I knew there was. Oh, I knew, and I just couldn't think who. Mary Steiner was managed with your father, right? Yeah. So Dick and Mary together managed Etc. Shop back a number of years ago. Okay, and then are you next, Chrissy, in order? Maybe?
Sure.
So Chrissy is now celebrating, she's been here for 20 years. So please, are you willing to stand, Chrissy? This is our beloved manager of Etc. Shop. Took us through that whole transition to the new building, and that's not insignificant. We thank you for that, Chrissy. Okay. And then our current manager of, well, let me just say, well, I'll get back to her. Our current manager of Book Reviews is Danielle Hodges. And she started in 2020, November of 2020. And you remember 2020? That was a tough year. And she and Marcy Allen, who was the manager of 10,000 Villages, and had to leave to go teach a class, both started right in the middle of the pandemic there, and we thank both of them for being willing to jump in there and do what needed to be done. Okay. And is Peggy still here? Where'd she go? Oh, Peggy! Peggy was manager at 10,000 Villages, and then when we reorganized some Book Reviews, she was doing both of those two stores. Yes. Near Cleveland.
No,
No.
Worcester.
You moved to Worcester.
I'm in Worcester now.
You're in Worcester.
Yeah.
Right smack in it. I think I knew that.
Yeah. Right now, 4 minutes from Grandkids.
All right. Well, we're sure glad you were able to make it tonight. Okay. And our newest manager is Wendy Chapeldeck. Who started in September, and those of us who are working in 10,000 Villages know she's making us all work hard, which is exactly what we want to do. Yeah, it's a delight. Thank you very much. Did we miss any managers here over the 50 years? Okay. Joyce Hostetler. Where is she? I don't see her. There she is. Thank you. And Marty Hostetler, sitting over in the front table there. Thank you both for your. Yes. Okay.
We also have Joyce and Janie, who are the assistant managers of Book Reviews.
We have volunteer assistant managers that Joyce Daniels and Janie Wireman. Thank you for your work. And Nancy Neff and Lisa Lindenbaugh. Okay. Well, it's Jeez Louise, none of this is written down, see, so you're. Suzanne Bauman, where are you? There she is. Suzanne has served 10,000 Villages, with all the stores, but 10,000 Villages.
There's another one. Beth.
Oh, Bev Armstrong?
She was interim.
She was in, that's right. What, you know, the interims keep us going when we have little holes. So you get the picture here. There are a lot of people doing lots of work, yeah. Well, you know, we think it might be fun if Lois Kreider and Celia Hilty came to us today. So we're going to see images of Lois Kreider and Celia Hilty visiting today's stores. We've got Lois Kreider here played by Mary Edmiston. And we've got Celia Hilty. Where's Celia? We got Celia Hilty played by Beth Armstrong. She's ready to go. Not quite. Okay, I turn it over to our actors.
I can feel it right here in this room. It's the spirit of Lois Kreider. Can you feel it?
Celia Hilty, is that you? Oh, it's heavenly to be with you again. So much has happened since we left God's good earth. Remember all those good times starting the Etc. shop?
Well, it all started with Edna Ruth Byler.
I remember her coming to our house with her car trunk loaded with crafts from the third world countries. Her husband was on the board of the Mennonite Central Committee, our church's relief agency, and she traveled around the world with him observing wars, famines, and oppression, particularly of women.
She really believed the old adage, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach him how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime.
Right. She saw women in Jordan, Puerto Rico, and India creating beautiful needlework and wood carvings. She decided to buy as much as she could so they could support themselves, feed and educate their children, and retain their dignity and culture.
So in the 1960s, we unloaded her trunk full of self-help crafts into this church basement. And later in the building next to it, next to the church, and we invited all the church women in the area to pre-Christmas sales. They were a big success.
It seemed to us women that instead of holding an annual sale, we could help many more people by selling crafts in a shop that was open year-round.
Our husbands thought we were crazy with the costs of maintaining a store, shipping, and competition with places like Pier 1, who sold their third world crafts for a fraction of their worth.
Well, then I happened to be in Altona, Manitoba in 1973. I learned that a group had opened a thrift self-help store. They supported their gift shop from sales at the thrift shop. Aha, I thought, we could do that.
Never underestimate the power of women. We sold our husbands on the idea. And started thinking about a location. And then Nice Wonders newsstand at 111 South Main Street closed and the building went up for sale. Church council was approached and the idea was approved. This was the start of a venture in faith.
And your Herman had the insight and the initiative to recruit a small number of people to buy the building. He was the father of the 111 Associates, named for the address of the building. Herman put in thousands of hours of work to manage the apartments, keep the heating system going, patch the roof, and many other tasks that no one knows about. He repeatedly declined any remuneration for his work.
Well, that's this community's way to volunteer your time, your talents, and your work Look at all the people who continue to contribute without pay.
Our next item of business was selecting a name for the shop. Carolyn Urick Rich presented me with a long list of names, and one popped out that everyone liked. The Etc. Shop.
Well, it sounded a bit too French for me, but to name it in Swiss, Der und so weiter shoppen, that didn't have much appeal.
Do you realize that today is January 18th, 2024?
What a coincidence. We opened the shop on January 18th.
What a year that was. I think it was 1974.
Yeah. Hey, that's 50 years to the day.
I wonder, whatever happened to that shop?
Well, since we're back here in Bluffton, let's fly to 111 South Main Street and see if it's still there. Well, lost my place.
Here, oh, sorry. Here we are, but something looks different. What does that sign say?
Roots. Did the self-help crafts take root? I see the theater's still here.
Wait, look in this beautiful window. This is what was the old interurban station during the last century. Wow, look at the beautiful gifts. And it looks like they're from other countries. But the sign says 10,000 villages. I wonder.
I don't think so.
Let's go in and ask.
Welcome, welcome. Can I help you find something in particular?
Where do all these beautiful things come from?
Well, some of the poorest countries in the world. People created them so they could improve life for their families. Many are women. And now they're able to provide food, clothing, education for their children. Some are continuing art forms from generations ago.
But that sounds like self-help crafts.
Well, it is. But we changed the name to 10,000 Villages in 2004. In fact, nationally, it became an independent organization in 2000 and is no longer run by Mennonite Central Committee. Our Bluffton store is still under the local Etc. Shop Incorporated board. By the 1980s, more than 100 other 10,000 villages opened across the US and Canada. Right now, there are about 45 stores.
You don't say. But where's the needlework from Jordan and the wood from Haiti?
Well, now we have hand-blown glass from the West Bank, metalwork from Haiti, recycled sari items from India, baskets from Uganda, chocolate from Ghana, jewelry from all over the world, etc., etc., etc.
Oh dear Lord, she's about to faint. I think she needs some sustenance.
Look! A divine answer to prayer. Here, have some chocolate, Wendy.
Thank you. Mwah.
I wonder how they made it such a success.
Well, with lots of work and many off-site sales and financial help from the Etc. Shop, working with the town council, Bluffton became designated a fair trade town in 2009. Not only are our shops masters of recycling, but our craftspeople in their own countries recycle everything from bicycle chains to sari fabric to oil drums to flip-flops, etc., etc., etc. Plus, Ray Rayburn, our landlord, continues to give us a great deal on rent.
Take it easy, Wendy. Don't start to faint again.
But what became of the Etc. Shop?
It became so crowded, a worm couldn't crawl through the garage, and they had to halt donations. They're in a new location.
I can't wait to see it.
But wait, while you're downtown, you also need to see our third shop, just beyond the theater.
Let's go. Oh, this is the old library jewelry store. I wonder if the safe is still there.
Welcome, ladies. And yes, the safe is still here. We couldn't really move it very well. Ruth and Walt Unruh moved to Bluffton in 2002 to be closer to their daughter Paula. And like you, Lois, she wanted to make contributions to the work of MCC. But wait, I think I sense her fluttering around here somewhere.
Hello, everyone. I believe I heard about all of you. Well, I had a used bookstore named Book Reviews in Newton, Kansas, donating all sales and time to MCC. I missed my shop after I moved here and decided to open a Book Reviews on North Main Street.
Realizing her goals were the same as that of the Etc. shop, she asked to join forces. After her shop had a couple of moves around town, the board incorporated the three shops into one organization, the Etc. Shop Incorporated. Etc. and Book Reviews operate under the same umbrella, with profits going to MCC and serving as a financial backup for 10,000 villages.
I remember saying, don't celebrate a sale until you get the check. After a customer who brought a large stack of books to the desk only purchased a few. And there was the customer who gave another customer who didn't have enough money to cover his purchase a $20 bill. Then there was another customer who bought 8 Dick Francis books donated by Mennonite Memorial Home for his bookshelf, only because they were blue and someone advised him on matching his room decor.
Well, what kind of books do you sell?
Oh, we have all kinds of things. We have a religion room full of religious books. We have a wall of cookbooks. We have fiction, nonfiction, biography, history, nature, science, children's section, young adults, etc., etc., etc. We also sell books online.
Online?
Oh, I forgot. Since you guys started, a whole lot of things in the world went online. And we had to learn how to use computers and use new cash registers, etc., etc., etc. It was a pretty big learning curve. People can even read books electronically, but we don't really mess with that.
Are you still getting strange requests?
Oh, yes. It's fun watching parents and grandparents coming in with children and becoming immersed in the books in the store. And sometimes we do get some interesting requests. One of our most unusual came from a man who asked if we had any waterproof Bibles. And we actually did. He bought it on the spot. He was a pastor and wanted a Bible that he could use in case it fell in the water while he was baptizing.
I understand that hundreds of books come in, more than you can use. You donate some, you recycle some, and you have book discussion groups.
In the past, we've done classes with crafts with books, promoted local authors at book signings. Once we sent a bunch of books to France for seminars in religion. Currently, we help to supply the Little Free Library in Shirley's Popcorn next door, and we have a book exchange with Maplecrest.
What an asset for Bluffton. People can share books they no longer need. They can volunteer their time. They can recycle lots of paper. And they can sit and read, read, and read. It's almost as good as being in heaven.
Look, here's a good one for you. The best of Mennonite fellowship meals. It's good. Oh, Star Wars, are you a fan? I don't know. I'm confused about this one.
Oh, I think that's an audiobook. If you have a CD player, you can listen to it.
Oh. Well, there's so many fun books here, I could browse all day long.
But whatever happened to the etc. shop?
Does it still exist?
It sure does. If you look all the way up North Main Street to the old glove factory, you'll find it there.
Huh. Well,
Let's fly.
let's fly.
I can't wait.
Here we are, 327 North Main Street. My, look at this place. Oh, hi, Chrissy. Congratulations on your 20th anniversary managing the etc. From what I understand, you have accomplished so much in that time. Let's give Chrissy a hand.
Yes, congratulations. Could you fill us in a bit?
Sure. Thanks, both of you. Over the years, we kept growing. It should be no surprise to you that space has been an issue since the beginning. Lois, you may remember seeing the crowding when you visited us in 2014 to speak at our 40th anniversary.
Oh, yes. You told me how hard it was to walk up through the receiving area, especially during garage sale season. You had us even cut back on donations. The shop itself was so crowded that at times customers found it difficult to walk around each other.
The board purchased this building in January of 2018, and renovations began the next year. We closed the old store for only 1 week before reopening here on September 1st of 2019. Are you ready to go inside?
Oh, yeah. Chrissy, this is truly amazing. It's so spacious and so welcoming. The wooden floor and counter are beautiful. I'm seeing 4 rooms for sales. And look at all the storage and workspace in the back. They even have a loading dock, Lois, can you imagine?
This is quite something. It looks like there's still the same sections to this store, like clothing and housewares and home decor and electronics and children's toys. The displays are so attractive, so inviting. It's no wonder that some shoppers spend hours in there.
Well, apparently, it was too long of a wait for one young customer. In the children's room, we once found a potty chair, used, with toilet paper. Joyce Schumacher cleaned it with bleach and soapy water. Nancy Neff suggested putting tape over it so it wouldn't happen again. And Sue Dorsey suggested that we put a label on it that said, "Tested, it works."
Well, that's memorable. Where was the adult? I also heard about customers lining up just to wait for the store to open. Well done, Chrissy.
Well, they also line up when the window displays come out. Thanks to Jeanette Reinecke, we have so much fun with those displays.
I can imagine. Do you ever have on sale items?
Of course. Every Monday is Dollar Day, and we rotate the tag color items each week.
Do the 3 stores have joint projects? What about coordinating with the town activities?
Yes, occasionally we have scavenger hunts with all 3 stores. And as a member of the Bluffton Chamber of Commerce, we participate in Discovery Days, held on the 4th Saturday of the month from June to October, with special sales throughout Bluffton.
Chrissy, I heard that last September, after just 4 years, you were able to celebrate with your volunteers that anniversary. along with having the building's debt paid off. That must have been quite the occasion.
Volunteers are amazing. Thank you. It was really joyous. Just like 1974, there were plenty of skeptics who doubted we could make it work. Some things stay the same.
That's for sure.
Oh, our volunteers and managers are so multi-talented, aren't they? What fun. Thank you very much to all of you. Okay, want to do some more thank yous. The committee who worked on this evening. I mean, again, you can imagine all the little pieces of work that had to be undertaken to get us here to tonight. The banquet committee was made up of Sue Dorsey, Nancy Neff, Shirley Summer, Esther Spaeth, and Joyce Schumacher. We want to express our thanks to First Mennonite Church for allowing us to use their fellowship hall, dinnerware, and kitchen to prepare and serve the meal. Want to thank the members of the Bluffton University Peace Club and the Nutrition Association for serving the meal. And the cake that you enjoyed tonight was made by Paula Luganville. Thank you, Paula. And the entire rest of the meal was made by Joyce Schumacher. Oh. Let's give a round of applause. Okay, I think we're going to have Susie Gratz, come up and talk about ways you can treasure these important resources we have over the next period of time.
Well, many of you were around when we celebrated the 30th anniversary. And at that time, there was a booklet. Many of you have this. And we now have an updated book that looks like this one. And Mary Steiner had a lot to getting this printed. We want to acknowledge her for that. But the entire history committee did have a hand in writing the book. These are going to be available in about 2 weeks. They'll be online. We have a limited number for sale that are downstairs in the assembly room. They came to $15. So if we run out of hard copies and you really want one, there's a sign up where you can list your name and your contact information. And another word about being online, there are cards on the table where you picked up your name tags. That gives the web address where you will be able to find 4 things. There will be both booklets, the slideshow, as well as the video of Ray's recording from tonight. So again, the little card looks like this. I want to express our deep appreciation to Ray Rayburn for all of his technical assistance and his patience and everything he's done for us. This has been amazing. Again, you can come see us downstairs if you wish to purchase one of the new books or sign up to get a hard copy. There you go. Thanks.
So Susie mentioned the history book and the slideshow. Those didn't just appear, poof, right? There were also people who worked on that. The history committee was Mary Steiner, Carolyn Rich, Hydrin Awad, Susie Gratz, Linda Headings, Joyce Hostetler, and Marty Hostetler. So thank you all for And the slideshow that you've been enjoying all night was put together by Mary Steiner. Thank you, Mary. That was... Okay, Susie mentioned the assembly room downstairs that has the items that you brought, along with the other items Susie mentioned. Feel free to go down there at the close this evening and browse the items that are down there. So just a few closing words for this evening. For 50 years, we, all of us in this room, have worked together to answer God's call to be part of the creation of a world where all God's children are treated with dignity and respect and are able to live a life of quality. We are called to share God's love and compassion for all by responding to basic human needs and working for peace and justice. We have a dream that all communities worldwide be in right relationship with God, one another, and creation. And we have done this right here in Bluffton, Ohio. A small town with a large vision. We have brought people together from the churches in Bluffton, Pandora, and Lima area to create 3 stores that together respond to this call. Tonight, we have begun a year-long celebration of 50 years of responding to this call. We find that celebrating our past inspires us to look into the future. Our 3 managers, our volunteers, and our board have been engaged in looking into the future. We have plans to keep growing into the mission of our 3 stores by continuing to increase sales. We want to make our stores better known throughout Bluffton and surrounding areas by increasing education and outreach. As Wendy said to me yesterday, we're going to the people, thinking outside the box. We will be greatly increasing marketing and off-site sales. We want to improve our facilities and operations to make our stores more attractive to customers. And we want to explore how we can better use our space, including the upper floor of our Etc. Shop building. I invite you to pick up one of our flyers describing our 50th celebration campaign and invite you to join us in keeping our 3 stores alive and well over many years to come. And those flyers are going to be in the back. They are there now on the back table, so feel free to pick one up as you leave. And I want to recognize Beth Bear, who was our graphic designer for this flyer, and she and I and others worked closely together and back and forth and back, and finally we got it and are delighted with the outcome. This evening was a wonderful kickoff to a whole series of events planned for this year. I encourage you to watch for publicity about each of the events and to take part when you are able. I want to close with a special thank you to Joyce Schumacher. Joyce made my heart leap for joy when she responded positively to our request that she serve as chair of the steering committee for the year-long celebration. And this was back in summer of 2022. I knew our year-long celebration was in good hands. And indeed, she and her team have worked tirelessly to plan for these events. And tonight, we have been privileged to get a taste of all that's to come. Joyce and all the rest of the volunteers, please accept our huge thank you. To all of you who have come tonight to help us celebrate, and stick around, continue your conversations, head downstairs to the assembly room and look at the displays there and watch the slideshow. Have a good night.
Thank you to Lord Hofstadter for taking care of all the money.
Yes.
All the stores.
Yes.
Everything.
Yes.